I have a letter open this time, but I don't know if I can be trusted.
Yeah, it is today. Oh, yeah.
Lane checker. It's an ARPA
When are we doing that?
at the end.
At
Well,
the end?
close to the end.
Okay.
When Dave is up.
Okay, because we move it around.
Well, we've had it this way for a while because I don't remember what. We were gonna move it back up to the front, but Dave said no at the end.
Well, it didn't make any difference.
Oh, right.
So now, since we're doing a 2-week review, we can do it.
Yeah.
It is 8 o'clock, call the meeting order, stand pledge allegiance and prayer if you choose to. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we ask that you please give us your guidance. There are serious issues for us to consider, nothing like what you consider for us. We ask that you guide and direct us, that we do everything that is pleasing to you. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. If you haven't signed in out front, please do so. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from July 28th.
Move to approve the July 28th minutes as submitted.
Second.
Then moving second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carried. Next, the drain maintenance fees. Total of what, $97,545?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moving second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, motion carried. Acceptance of the auditor's report.
Move for approval.
I'll second it. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carried. First up is S0126, Insight Engineering. Is Insight, step forward, sir. If you're not familiar, you need to identify yourself and address of your firm, and then the floor is yours.
Well, I'm Don Fisher with Insight Engineering, address 9755 Randall Drive, Suite 101A, Carmel, Indiana. I'm here.
The location shown up here already, Don.
Okay, I did bring USB.
You want to? You can go ahead.
Okay, so this is the first phase of a 11-acre tract for commercial development. We're in this phase, we're going to do a C-store gas station on the north west corner of the site, and then we're also going to build a pond at the far south end of the site.
Do you all know where this is located?
Northfield Drive.
Northfield. Lowe's is over here. Brownsburg.
It's in Brownsburg, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Pull it up.
And Holloway Drain is on the east property line
right.
of the site.
Yeah, it is right. This is the Holloway
Right.
regulated drain.
And so, working with David, we just started at the top exit.
You want to show the detention pond?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh. So the detention pond is kind of in a triangle area at the south end, and then discharges at the southeast corner of the Holloway Drain, right at the old crossing for the traction line or the interurban, and then south of that is again the railroad.
What else you want to show them?
Only the utility plan, try to be the best thing. So this shows the convenience store, dispense, the gas canopy, new drive off Northfield and drive off of the old 625. The big feature here is the gas transmission line that goes across the site. It's a petroleum line, Country Mark. We've been working with them for months to come up with a plan that they like. And one time we're gonna relocate it, and that was kind of part of the holdup with coming to you guys. It turned out their requirements don't really make it worth relocating it. Right. We were looking at taking it parallel to the Holloway drain and then jogging it across. It just,
So where are you at on Buckeye Pipeline? Are they
Country Mark.
Country Mark? I mean,
It's okay, yeah.
sorry.
So we're working out all the easement documents and so forth. They're going to have they want to be at least 20 feet from your drain. Oh, and we talked about changing this to an urban drain to a 65-foot instead of 75-foot from the top of bank. And then also, we're gonna provide an access easement for the county to get to the drain for maintenance, because right now you really don't have a good way to get there. The grade off of Northfield is terrible. So we're gonna come off the south side of, right there, south side of the convenience store with a drive all the way across, teeing into the easement for you guys to be able to get in there and do the work, because on the west side of the east side of the drain, it's residential, and there was zero provision for you guys to get in there. Tree lines and houses and yards and so forth.
So with the pipeline, then you'll still have some permeable soil then. So you're not gonna cover everything with pavement.
Well, we can pave over the pipeline, we just can't put any, yeah. They have this many requirements, but yeah, we can pave over it, and we're gonna only have one utility crossing because we have to lower their pipeline in that area.
And Burke has reviewed this, right?
Yes.
And you're okay?
Right.
Okay. As you can see, the office is recommending preliminary approval. The chair will entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
I'll second it. Is there further discussion?
What's your invert on your ditch and your outfall of your stormwater?
You're testing my memory. What I did is I used the box under the interurban, which is actually higher than the ditch line, so water stands in the ditch now. So we're coming in above the ditch line, so that way if any work is done, we will be compatible with that.
Try to bring up the detention pond.
Yeah, that should have the invert down there. Sorry, can't read that. So we're at 886 in the pond, and I think we're at 885.5 at the. Yeah, I can't read that either, but
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there you go, 885.5.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Is there further discussion? Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
There's one opposed. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next is S1326, Banning Engineering, Auburn Ridge.
Gotcha.
Name and,
Austin Lewis, Band Engineering, 853 Columbia Road, Plainfield, Indiana.
there you go.
So I just come today for Auburn Ridge Section 3. This is just finishing up Auburn Ridge subdivision. The detention pond's already installed with Section 2. This is just to assess in lieu fees. So there's no new outlets or anything getting installed. It's just all the storm water is going to that existing detention pond.
So there's already existing detention there?
Yep.
Okay.
And the outlet's already installed too.
Any questions from board members? As you can see, the office is recommending preliminary approval.
So moved.
Second.
Moving to second. Further discussion? Those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, motion carried.
Second.
Next is S 1226, CEC Engineering for McDonald's.
Okay. I'll pull it up first. This is right at the southeast corner of Northfield Drive and to Old 267. It's right in that corner.
So I'm Aaron Hurt with Civil and Environmental Consultants. Our office is at 433 North Capitol, Suite 200 in Indianapolis. So we've got a proposed McDonald's here at the southeast corner of Northfield Drive and Green Street in Brownsburg. So it's currently a vacant lot. To the south, there's an automotive, Chastain Automotive, I believe.
Christian Brothers.
Christian Brothers, I'm sorry. They master planned this property, so they have the automotive center and then a master plan pond for stormwater detention and water quality. So the McDonald's would go to the north at the corner. The storm piping was upsized to handle 100-year rainfall events. Worked with Christopher Burke on that. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Everything routes to the pond. And McDonald's is hoping to start later this year or whenever is feasible.
As you can see, the office is recommending preliminary and final approval on S 1226. Chair will entertain a motion or discussion by the board.
Move for preliminary and final approval. S 1226.
Second.
Then moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? Those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, motion carries. Next, we need a motion for continuance on S 0626.
So moved.
I'll second that. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion's good. That project is continued. Next is S 0425 Briarwood, Stoppleworth Engineering.
This project is on 900 East between US 36 and 100 North. We've already approved Section 1. The reason they're here is because they outlet to the Feeney ditch. And you might recall, this is Arm 1 of the Feeney, and we had them replace that Arm 1. And so this is basically Section 2. And it's all going to the original, or the Section 1 detention pond and then outletting to Arm 1. Sorry to steal your thunder. Go for it.
Nicholas Stevens, Steppenworth and Associates, 7965 East 106th Street in Fishers. Like you said, Section 2, you can pop it up right now. It's just the northwest corner of the site. We're just outletting to Lake 1 into the drain. Detention, water quality, both handled in Section 1, and I believe we're just waiting on final approval from Avon for this section.
Well, as you can see, this is Section 2, so the drainage has already been established in Section 1. Chair will entertain a motion regarding S 0425.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is further discussion? Those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then opposed, motion carries. Next is S 0926 Greenbelt Banning Engineering. Ryan.
Good morning, members. Ryan Lindley with Manning Engineering, 8533 Columbia Road. You may recall this was in for preliminary
Here.
a month ago.
It's the bottom button.
Yeah. There's a few drawings on there for you.
When was the preliminary approved on this?
A couple months ago.
Okay.
Yes, it was 2 months ago. I think it was June. We are in God's country in North Pittsboro, Indiana. This is a First attempt for development on the far north side of the I-74. It's 19 acres. See the site layout here. We have a possibility of 6 to 7 lots with building sites ranging from 10,000 to 60,000 square feet. What we are doing right now is mass grading, mass drainage for the entire site. We've been working with Mr. Gaston and Burke for approval on that. We had a late item to take care of yesterday, and I think we accomplished that by routing the 100-year through the storm sewers, proposed storm sewers of the site to the pond. Other than that, I can answer.
Dave and I had a long conversation about this on Friday or Saturday. It's a good project. It's squeezed in a tight area. And Dave, you mentioned that you wanted each time they go to build a building, that would come back to us again.
Yes.
Now, is that gonna cause, it's not really our purview, but is that gonna cause anxiety? Because if they purchase the ground anticipating that they will sell 5 buildings, and then they come back and they can only sell 4, are they aware that could happen?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. I just wanna
Or it
make
could be
sure.
the opposite. It could be
Buyer beware.
Right, you're
anticipate
right.
5
That's
and
what yes.
end up with 7.
I've been in discussions with the Pittsburgh engineer as well.
Okay.
He's very aware of all this.
And you, as you stated, Dave, that land on the south side of, what road is that?
850.
850. We can't flood them out. And that, you guys are gonna do your best not to do that.
And we'll
So,
make sure they don't do that.
right, as you can see, the office is recommending approval, final approval.
Is that 7 or 6 parcels?
Right here, we're showing 6.
6.
The north building, it could be 2 buildings, could be 1.
Okay, all right.
TBD.
All right, as you can see, the office is recommending final approval. Chair will entertain discussion or motion.
Move for approval, that's 926 Greenbelt Park.
I'll second it. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? None opposed. Next, MAP 764, Eaglestone, Banning Engineering. We have some documents presented to us in this regard. Greg, did you get these?
Yes.
Morning, Steve Rehab with Banning Engineering, 853 Columbia Road, Plainfield, Indiana, 46168. Dave's brought the site up. I've also got a thumb drive if he can load that in, but so let's start with the first one there. Eaglestone is an 84 lot subdivision on 43 acres located between County Road 700 North and County Road 750 North. It's vacant farmland right now with the exception of a house up on the north end and one house on the south end. Both of those houses will be brought into the project and removed. It's immediately adjacent to the Fox Hollow residential subdivision. The site generally drains from west to east towards the Fox Hollow Pond, and there's about 90 acres of off-site area to the west that flows through the site by surface and by tile. If you can go to the next page, Dave. Again, here's the site located right here and an off-site drainage basin. You can see 84 acres that comes this way and another 5 0.3 acres or so up in this area. The majority of this project site and the adjacent drains through the Eaglestone site and to the Fox Hollow Pond. So here you can see the location of the main tile. We excavated that tile. It was a 10-inch and it was about 2 feet deep where it came onto the property on the western edge. And then you can see a little bit of riprap here at the outlet of that tile where then it drains into the Fox Hollow Pond. So with those things in mind, we designed the subdivision so that we have a 30-foot minimum wide buffer all the way along the whole western side of the project. And the purpose of that is so that we can intercept surface flow from the adjacent property, plus we can intercept any tiles from the adjacent property to the west and route them to one of the 3 detention ponds. The project's going to be completed in 3 sections, and the first section includes the majority of the drainage and detention work on the site. So section 1 right here would include this pond and this pond. Section 2, a smaller section up here, and section 3, including this pond. We've also got areas between lots so that, again, we can pick up any surface flow or any tiles and route them through the ponds without having to go through one of the residential lots themselves. Oh, stay on that one, Dave, if you don't mind. So each of these ponds are interconnected. You can see some flow arrows. This larger pond intercepting any runoff from the west plus runoff from section 1, then discharges between these 2 lots into this second larger pond that then ultimately discharges to the Fox Hollow Pond. This pond up here, again, intercepting anything from the west, routing it through to this pond, and then discharging along the back sides of these lots through a storm sewer system down to this pond and ultimately to the Fox Hollow Pond. If you can go to the next one, please. So as part of the drainage and detention model, Dave and Christopher Burke suggested that we model the Fox Hollow Pond as part of our overall system. So we did. We put the Fox Hollow Pond into our detention model. We modeled the pond, we modeled the outlet, and we modeled the culvert under the county road. And the Eaglestone project does not negatively impact any of the lots in Fox Hollow, does not negatively impact the pond, does not negatively impact the outlet pipe, and does not negatively impact the culvert under the county road.
Next.
So the Drainage Board recommendation, again, working with Christopher Burke and with Dave, is recommending preliminary approval for the project and then assessing each lot within the development $100 annual maintenance. So with that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I would ask for your approval.
Thank you, Steve. We've been presented these documents. One of the questions has arisen: can we document that Fox Hollow is a regulated drain?
It says in the covenant or in the plat that it is.
It says on the books that it is a regulated drain, but that's one of the questions that has arisen.
I'm good. Try to pull it up.
Do you want me to?
So it has been certified then?
Yes,
Okay.
it has, but Emily, I don't know where, you're gonna have to help me. You had it down here at one time. Emily, to the rescue.
The pictures.
Sorry. There it is. This was approved in 91. These are what we call Exhibit As. When the Drainage Board approved those, they would color in the area. That's a regulated drain. This is the area that the drainage board back then took in as a regulated drain. Also, we look at the lineal feet in the writing, and the lineal feet of open ditch matches what they have colored up. So this is a regulated drain, what you see right there and that little strip there.
Okay, the question has come up. Has it been certified? Are we collecting maintenance on this?
It was certified when they approved the plat.
Okay. Are we collecting, do we have any maintenance fee on these lots?
We can find out.
Coming.
She can get to it quicker than I can. I forget what number it is. But it's still a regulated drain. It was approved as a
Right,
regulated
whether we're
drain.
collecting anything or not.
Right.
Right. Okay. Mr. Steerwald, have you seen these questions here they want you to address? The floor is yours.
Well, my opinion is fairly simple. It's a dedicated legal drain. It's in our legal drain system. And as we all know, the purpose of the statutory scheme for a legal drain is to drain property, drain adjacent property. And that's what the legal drain system was established statutorily. That's what it serves its purpose on a dedicated plat. It's to be used for draining adjacent property that might come across on the flow.
Yes, we do bring in,
Pardon?
we do bring in annual maintenance assessment. They have
Okay. All right.
they have money in the account. Yes.
$875 for the whole,
That was the spring collection
for the whole,
subdivision.
what about the watershed?
They didn't accept the watershed when they accepted the subdivision as a regulated drain. So the watershed that's coming in, they were not assessed in 1991.
Okay, that answers this. We all therefore also request an explanation of the county attorney's conclusion. The rest, it did, we just answered that question. They challenge that, I guess. They said it doesn't necessarily establish a right to collect concentrated discharge stormwater generated by a new 8488 home subdivision. I kind of respectfully disagree. I wasn't in favor of this to start with. As you know, I'm on the record, but that doesn't have anything to do with the drainage part of this. Because if water can go through there from John Doe, I don't know why it can't go through there from somebody else that owns it. But we have a petition presented to us, and at the risk of this going away, if someone wants to speak, you can have a couple minutes to address this subject if you want to step forward and identify yourself.
Bob, could I make one more comment,
Absolutely.
please? I would also note that the covenants and restrictions for Fox Hollow Estates say that the pond is being created for the benefit of Fox Hollow Estate project and the adjacent properties.
Oh, it says that.
Yes.
Okay, step forward, Mike.
Mike Starkey, 9225 East County Road 700 North. I own the 95 acres west there that flows into there. But I have several tiles on the north side of this main tile that they're talking about that flows through the subdivision. Matter of fact, there's an 8-foot deep tile on that north side, and they're talking basements. Who's gonna be responsible when a basement gets flooded out when they find this tile? And then on it, in addition, the watershed that they're showing from the north side is going north at this time. They're changing that to go south. So that's, in addition, more water that's heading to Fox Hollow. I question this tile 628. This is all new to me. I never paid an assessment for this
And you don't. No, you
628 tile of some sort. And I talked to several homeowners from Fox Hollow. Do you know anything about this tile, this 628 legal grain, and no, this is news to us also. So therefore, I just question, there's so many questions involved here that I feel that needs to be answered before you would approve a preliminary, especially for something like this. Not only that, but the legality of draining into a private pond that Fox Hollow has, what they've been taking care of over all these years. What happens if you have all these homeowners all of a sudden want to have Chemlon out there spraying their yards and phosphorus goes into their private pond and you're going to have algae blooms? Who's responsible for taking care of that?
I think we can address that part.
Okay. So anyway, that's my questions. I'm really surprised about this legal drain. This is all news to me, just came up out of nowhere. Greg told Dave that this was legal, that legally they can drain in this as of last Friday. This is a last minute issue. I think that's all my questions. Right. Oh, and I'm glad we have 3 farmers on this drainage board, because sure, they're gonna have the water held back when there's a big rain, not flooding Fox Hollow. But my farm is going to be held back also. You know, with that being said, not only are you holding back the water to go into Fox Hollow, but you're holding my 95 acres, plus there's ground on the north side of 750 that flows into the north side of this property also. I'm talking about the 5.3 acre area up there at the top. So not only do we have this main tile going through there, yes, but we have several tiles on the north side of this project that's flown on the north side too. And they need to be identified and located before you can continue on this. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Mike. Well, I believe that they have met the burden for preliminary approval as been recommended. And as far as the discharge must be calculated and taken into account by Burke, and it will be. It has to be. You cannot have a negative impact on Mike's ground. With that said, the chair will entertain a motion for preliminary approval of this drainage project.
Move for approval, MAP 764 Eaglestone.
And I will second that. Now, is it further discussion?
One thing, I guess, too, before we vote, I want to vote on this. You know, I don't know if it was discussed, but where the main tile is, where we can see most of the surface water makes its way to Fox Hollow's pond, is there a surface inlet as well? I know there was talks of, on the west side, subsurface to connect the tile. But what about just the watershed of large rains, you know, when there's no crops on the field? You know, is there a surface inlet on the west side?
Steve Rehab again. With that layout, that was the reason that we've got a 30 to 40 foot buffer all the way along the western side of the project so that we can construct swales along that side to intercept any surface flow and route those to the pond as well. It's that the drainage area is too big to just rely on one inlet, so we've got to have open channel swales that lead to the pond. So that has been taken into account. And of course, any other tiles that we find on the site, we will route to the detention ponds or through the site. If someone could provide us a map of where those other tiles might be, it would be a little bit easier to locate those. But regardless, we'll locate all the tiles that we can.
And then I guess my second one, you know, percentage-wise, you know, for Fox Hollow, not all of their water goes to the southwest pond. You know, so a lot of the new Eaglestone, you know, all of their water goes through it. So, you know, in a percentage-wise, if there's issues with Fox Hollow's, you know, pond, you know, who will be in charge of it? Who will be funding that? You know, does that burden fall more on Eaglestone in the future? You know, or how will that be addressed? Just so we don't, you know, hurt Fox Hollow.
That's a good question, actually. I don't know. I don't know how that plays out. Who's responsible for continuing maintenance of that pond? That's something that we need to look at, and talk
As a
about
county, we
for
have never
section
really
one.
had authority over ponds, have we?
We've not taken them into the legal drain system
Right.
per se.
Right.
Okay, we've used them for drainage, but not, we didn't take them over to maintain the dam and spillway and that, things of that nature.
So to answer Michael's question, then, would it be appropriate then to establish that watershed with these houses and all these houses, the Fox Hollow residents, as one watershed? And then they pay, just like we do out here at the conservation thing?
You can, but does that answer who's gonna maintain the pond?
Well, then we would, if we assessed it, wouldn't we?
We don't usually maintain ponds.
Well, if we,
We've never done that.
if somebody's got a better
I think
idea.
you could get past the preliminary and get that resolved for the final approval.
Yeah, we need to
Okay.
figure that
Well,
out
we're gonna
before
figure it out
section
in
one is,
25 minutes and.
That's a
ever
sticky
Gonna
question.
do the
Okay,
items.
it needs to be resolved.
thank you.
Because I don't
Right.
think the burden should still be just on the Fox Hollow.
No,
Because now you have off-site certainly going there. I think everyone should be responsible to maintain that, my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay, let it be recorded then that the maintenance of Fox Hollow Pond has to be determined
Solution.
before final approval. With that, do we have a motion and a second?
Yeah.
Those in favor of this motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
One opposed? Okay. Next is DPR Citizen Energy Group.
Steve? Okay, I'll pull it up here real quick.
Thank you. Matthew Pierce, representing Citizens Energy Group, 2150 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Street, Indianapolis, 46202.
You want the pointer? Oh, there it is. It's the red button at the bottom.
Okay, thanks.
Pointer.
This project is titled Royal 10 Booster Station and Tanks. So it's this parcel here, northeast part of the county, 1025 East is right here, and then this is Limber-Lost Lane.
Boone County is right here, and that's 65. All right, I'll put that in now. This is preliminary, just to let everyone know.
Okay, while you're doing that, Dave, let's, Jack and I've had some conversations, as with Michael. Have you consulted with the neighbors, your immediate neighbors there?
As part of the property was
Just
acquired.
consulted with them, what
Yeah.
impact you're gonna have?
Yeah, so the property was acquired from the Lamars, so that covers most of the east and south. And then as part of the planning process, then letters went out to the adjacent owners per the development plan requirements.
Okay. Okay, with that said, is there anyone in the audience who's affected by this, who wants to be heard? Step forward, sir.
Hello, I'm Gordon Haig. I'm at 10326 Limberlost Lane.
Gordon, the laser, the red button at the bottom is the pointer.
Down here, okay. Where are we at on the ponds there? Okay. All right. My daughter built a new house right here. And we live right here and have another building site here. All the flow comes across here to this pond, and all this flow, he's drained all this farm field in to his pond, but that pond flows into my pond. And I've been having probably 30 years fighting a battle in Boone County that they've got illegal dumping and illegal drains. And I've got documented stuff for litigation that when they covered the property with, started it with the Boone County road grader. The guy drove the Boone County road grader. So he went down there every day and dumped on this property.
On the property that he's going to
It's
use?
the spillway, yeah. He's gonna dump a pipe. And how big is that pipe coming from the 42-inch pipe? I don't know if they're gonna supercharge that pond, which will flow into my pond, which has no outlet, which backs up behind my house. And it takes, but they dumped, trash in there. So they covered the whole thing with concrete.
But these guys didn't do that, did they?
No, but I went to Boone County, documented, went to solid, the water flows through the dam. And now the angle of repose is like 45 degrees, where it silts down, goes under the frontage road and blocks up the culvert structures under Lafayette Road, where Lafayette Road floods until they clear them out. And then it goes to Fishback and then to Eagle Creek. But I've gotten no relief on, they've raised it that much. And there's where the water flow around breakout on the north side of the dam. It backs up because it has, and I've been fighting, just concrete.
Okay, let's do this. You obviously have an issue there. If we approve this preliminarily, would you be willing to work with this gentleman on issues to make him more comfortable?
I mean, absolutely. I think the question would become, though, in hearing about it, is we're proposing to discharge to this pond. So I think what you're saying is then this goes to this pond that you're concerned about.
Yeah, he has no outlet. His outlet dumps into my pond.
Okay.
And I have no outlet on my pond. I mean, they have, that's the outlet dirt, and it just flows across the dirt and has eroded since then.
Yeah, we just need to have you on record that you will work with this gentleman to make his life easier.
I think that.
And please don't hesitate.
No, well, I think the challenge is I'm looking at, downstream issues that,
Well,
in terms
I
of.
understand you can't take in the whole.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
You
like,
can help this guy.
Can you tell me why they're putting such a big pipe discharge into the pond?
Okay, let's
Just say,
decide.
For secondary, I was going to require that they analyze these ponds, these outlets, do some modeling, see what's going on before secondary, before I can recommend anything
Okay.
secondary.
Okay.
Staff will.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
Where Gordon's so-called dam is, it's just been a dump site for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And there's no engineering on it. They just put a culvert in there for so-called
Well,
overflow. But
maybe the Hendricks County
anyway.
Commissioners can work with the Boone County Commissioners and try to get that resolved. I can't
It has
guarantee.
to be an adequate outlet. If the outlet downstream is impacted or there's an issue, then that is part of this project.
Right.
And so it needs to be resolved one way or another.
Sounds like it will happen before David
Yeah,
brings
okay.
it back to us.
yeah, I don't mean to
No.
we want to be good neighbors and
Okay.
not
That's what we're
put in
looking
something
for.
that's going to create an issue, but just not knowing more about the issue, that's
Sure,
why.
I understand. So just have a conversation, you guys have
Because additional
conversations.
to that pond, Chuck had his flow of his property drained to get off the county drain. All his farm ground, a 12-inch tile comes over and already feeds into that pond.
Okay, will Burke review this?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you got a heck of a job.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on,
Thanks, Gordon.
let's move on this one more
Move for approval of DPR 536 in preliminary form.
I will second that. Those in favor, is there further discussion? Those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
Two opposed?
Too many questions.
Were you opposed, Michael? Okay.
I
Two
would vote
opposed, so
no.
it we have a deadlock. Okay, next is Torrey Pine Consulting.
So that didn't get approved, that was a split, so we'll
It
bring
did not-
preliminary back again.
Yes.
Next
We're gonna have to come back again.
Okay, just wanted
Yeah.
to make sure everybody knew that.
September 8th, I think.
Yes.
So we feel these issues aren't,
Well, not necessarily, or we have 5 members and 3 of them that would be agreeable, but at the end of the day, you got nowhere, and I'm sorry.
Other than just, you can help yourself out by working with Gordon.
yeah, okay.
I would do some advanced work.
Yep,
but
that's right.
You
That's
got
right,
nowhere today, sir, sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, do you happen to have, and I can go through,
I would work with David on that.
Dave on it, like, are there methods to do like initial erosion control or any site work
Absolutely.
prior to?
Our stormwater ordinance and technical standards has everything you need to have on that.
Okay.
So just work with us. It's on our website.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Okay.
And if you need
Okay.
to contact me or Burke for direction, we can certainly aim you in that direction.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I'll get Gordon's info. Yeah. Thanks.
Next is Torrey Pine Consulting.
Thank you.
Skip one. Skip one.
Did I skip one?
Should we still?
You didn't skip one. You're 170.
Yeah.
That's what you're on.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
We just went through DPR 536.
Yes, we did.
Still Mayor Spillane.
Identify yourself, sir, and address, please.
Morning, guys. It's Kevin Studley, Torrey Pine Consulting, 43 West Scott Street, Pittsboro, Indiana. So I'm here presenting a minor residential plat on a large parcel north of Pittsboro to create one lot.
This is, here's Liston, right here. We're gonna be up in this area right there.
I don't know exactly where.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Are you guys gonna build in the woods?
No, so the idea is basically they are going to build a home site to the east of the woods. Basically, the woods is consumed by the majority of the legal drain.
There's a legal
drainage
drain
easement.
there, that's
Yep.
right. Okay,
So there'll
go ahead.
be, Here we are. Yep. So essentially the lot is just shy of 4 acres, comes back to about this region, and then cuts straight across. So it's just a square section or a rectangular section out of the southwest. There's kind of a high point here, and then there's some kind of drainage breaks, brings the water kind of to the south and the southwest. And then there's another one that kind of brings it to the north and westerly. So kind of in that middle area, that ridge is the proposed home site. There is a tile riser here. There are no risers. It's kind of tall, kind of woolly through here. I worked with Dave's office, and I was on site when they located the tile, basically right here at this point, shot in with drilling equipment, and that's what's shown on the plan. So then we offset that with traditional 75-foot regulated drainage easement. In the current phase of this project, septic system kind of goes right here, kind of high and dry, with appropriate elevation to get to that tile. And the idea is that we're not proposing any sort of modifications, improvement. The last thing, I'm wanting these folks to do is to go in here and start to put risers or do anything, just we're not sure how this is going to be developed. So until that point in time, and the plan set basically denotes that when they're ready to connect, they need to work through Dave's office to do that. Pretty straightforward, like I said, one single family residence. The drive, there's an existing drive here. There's actually been a little bit of development here that's not shown on this. There's a driveway here currently that goes to a large pole barn here on the south adjoiner. So there's a legal drain riser right here just south of the fence line. Our proposed driveway is through here, culvert pipe here that goes into a roadside ditch. And so that's.
That tile, we replaced that tile, didn't we, a few years ago? That goes across.
I don't remember.
Blanton's in 1025.
Probably.
How big is that?
It's like
tile is.
8 or 10. maybe a 12.
It's not very,
It's not
it's not very
huge.
big at all.
Plans and plans, no.
It's not big.
This should work.
So, sorry, Bob. So where this riser is, does that mean there's surface water flowing across there? Or why do we have a riser? Just because it's in
Sometimes it's just a
the
breather.
in the ditch?
Yeah, just
Okay.
to help gravity.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't need to, speculate that, or tell them that we need to have a culvert pipe for these drives, if we're gonna impede the flow of water.
We will require them to protect that tile when they build that driveway. We definitely will be on that. But we don't want to take any surface water into that little tile. It can't handle it.
Yeah, it's for as my plan sets get distributed, I've covered them in all sorts of notes about drainage patterns, flows, communication, and coordination with their office. The idea is there really shouldn't be any, other than some beautification. My thought was somebody would probably go through there with some forestry equipment, like the skid steer mulchers, basically bring it back down to a manageable height. And this area should look very, very nice. There's a bunch of very, very mature, massive trees through there. So the idea is that we'll get a nice home site and in the end, it'll just be a nice grass maintained is the thought.
We used to pasture cattle there.
So grow grass.
We don't have a motion yet. Chair will entertain a motion regarding preliminary and final.
Move for approval MRP 170, preliminary and final.
Second.
Moved to second. Is there further discussion? Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, motion carries. Next is MIP 1224. We need a motion for continuance.
So moved.
Second.
Moved to second. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, motion carries. Next, Dale Cruz, MAP 762.
Good morning, Dale Cruz, Cruz Consulting, 7384 Business Center Drive in Avon. And I'm here this morning on behalf of the Capstick family who desires to create it's actually a 3-lot major plat. It's a major plat because in about approximately 15 years ago, this property also had a single lot developed off of the west end of it, which would be actually a 4th lot out of the parent parcel, which makes this have to be a major plat. But the idea is this would just be three lots. Our owner desires to build on one of the lots and potentially sell off the remaining.
Snyder Close.
Yeah, it's right here, right there.
It's down in Guilford Township.
Yeah, so this is the ground right here, proposed to be divided into 3 lots. This is the lot was created, sold off approximately 15 years ago, which makes this be a total of 4, which makes these 3 be a major plat. The drive will come in here at the intersection. It'll come up to a cul-de-sac right here. There'll be a lot here, a lot here, and a lot here. And then we also are extending a road right-of-way through here, an unimproved road right-of-way right through here that will connect with this property to the south, which would allow a future connection through this property out to 675. There's a drainage way over here, which is where we're taking our perimeter drain outlets to. There's also this is actually a pretty high bluff over here. There's a cross-country, you can see it right there. There's cross-country power line easement that runs right through that cleared area, right through there. This area is up fairly high.
Poles right there.
Yeah, and it actually goes across this lake, so it just continues going through here. So lot in a corner here, lot up here in this corner, and then a lot over here. And there's desires to build on this lot and potentially sell the other 2 at some point in the future. That's it. That's all I got.
As you can see, office is recommending a preliminary and final approval. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move for approval MAP 762, preliminary and final.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, motion carries. Next, Dale Cruz, DPR 534.
Yeah, again, Dale Cruz, Cruz Consulting, 7384 Business Center Drive in Avon. I'm here on behalf of Cash Concrete. Owns this approximately 17-acre parcel right here on the north side of 136. Liston is over here. Here's the site. Pittsboro is right over here. Cash Concrete desires to construct a ready-mix batch plant to distribute ready-mix concrete from this property. There'll be a detention pond up here at the north end that will collect the entire site. This L-shaped piece right here, this part of the L, we're not proposing to do any improvements to this area right here. This drains off this direction to the east. And so we're not proposing to do anything in this section right here. The entry drive comes in approximately here. There'll be a small office building to support the batch plant. There'll be a batch plant here. You have a large detention pond here. Trickiest thing about this project is Dave's office early this spring, before crops were planted, they ran a television camera down through this legal drain tile. The legal drain tile connects into a structure right here, a manhole structure right here, and it goes underneath the railroad and outlets into an open drain on the north side of the railroad. Dave's office ran a camera up the tile from this manhole entry point all the way up to this corner of the property right here. And this tile is in not great shape. So the most complicated thing about this project is reconstructing this off-site tile, which will be a part of this project, to construct the tile all the way from their northwest corner all the way through to the connection point to the manhole that discharges under the railroad. There are tiles. If you go back through historical imagery, this field is littered with tiles. They're everywhere. So when they rerun this tile through here, they will pick up, and
Several other.
the tiles they intercept will pick up and route into or connect into this new drain. The last leg of the tile, which isn't a legal drain section of tile, but there is a section of tile that runs from this corner right here down to 136. There's a spot where there's a culvert pipe that comes under 136. And there is a pipe here that runs from here to that, which will also be connected in and routed all the way through. That's really the most complicated thing about this, is how we handle the offsite drainage, because our offsite drain outlet is not great today.
Normally, in a situation like this, we have the developer replace the pipe we'll be in charge of it. We'll use our contractors because it's still our regulated drain. Normally, we have the developer pay for that. So that was one of the questions Dale had, and I told him precedent is we usually have the developer pay for it if he wants it now.
Well, this would be we could wheel machine that in, couldn't we, and save a bunch of money and time?
Do you know what size tile they're
That's what I
proposing?
was gonna ask.
It's a 15-inch tile.
It's currently 15, and they just want to put a new 15 in.
Currently, it's portion of it's 15 and next down to a 12.
Yes.
Down in here somewhere, it makes it
Yes.
downsizes to a 12.
Yes.
That's what it currently does.
And they're proposing just a 15 all the way.
I don't remember if it was a 15 or an 18. There was a section of it, I think there was 18-inch pipe also.
So normally we have the developer pay for that, but we're in charge of it, right?
Well, so cash needs to replace the tile, you're saying?
They'll pay for it, we'll replace it.
Was that the actual path of it?
That's what I was.
It's close.
It's close, but it's not exact.
Everything-
That's based on the
So-
original legal description.
So Jack, we had when Dave's office cameraed the tile, they marked it on the surface also.
Okay.
And this is a pretty accurate representation of where the tile lays, except right through here. It cuts this corner right here. It does not do that, not sharp.
That makes more
Camera
sense.
making those corners.
Yeah, it did not.
It didn't.
And also, when they were running the camera through there, we had Chris with Klein Trucking out there to assist. And when the camera would only get, when the camera wouldn't go any further, Chris dug down onto the tile and got into the tile so that we could leapfrog the camera forward and carry on. And so there was a section in here where the tile was cracked, and there were some pieces of tile laying in the tile that the camera wouldn't get through. But we did figure out that tile runs basically through here. This is pretty accurate here. The only part that's not accurate is through this diagonal right here. But we do know where it is.
Can this board at least grant them do it the most inexpensive way In other words, if you run the wheel machine, can you leave, don't you walk behind, because I've done that before, just lay the sticks down in there and put them together manually, but the wheel machine's actually cutting the groove?
Correct.
Could that be done here?
I don't see why not.
Bob, you control it. The Drainage Board dictates.
I just want them to be able to do it as
Cost effective.
thank you, that's right, cost effectively as they can.
Still bet in stone.
They're capitalists. They're gonna find the most efficient way to do it.
Yeah, and they follow our standards, they have that option.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Are you comfortable with that, Dale?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
They're gonna figure it out.
Chair will entertain a motion for preliminary and final.
Move for MAP 760, that's the wrong one.
No,
isn't
yeah,
it?
DPR.
How about DPR 534, preliminary and final?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Further
Sorry,
discussion?
do we have to specify that Cash is doing the tile and they're following our standards?
If they wanna build a concrete plant, they're gonna build that tile.
That's understood.
We're good then, right?
Yep.
All right. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. They're not opposed, motion carries.
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dave. MAP 760, Steel Mirror, which is Banning Engineering.
Morning, everybody.
Good job.
Okay, my name is Parker Mays, Banning Engineering, 852 Columbia Road, Suite 101 in Plainfield, thank you. So I'm here representing Steel Mirror Acres. It is the site located right here, just south of Maloney Road, west of Raceway. Steel Mirror Acres is a 24-lot well and septic subdivision. The existing sites or field generally drains from the northwest portion down the southeast corner of the lot and then through Mallard Crossing and those ponds. As we have our proposed site, we will collect in a wet pond, which will route then through a dry pond down here into the Mallard Crossing regulated drain. In our proposed system, we have subsurface drains to collect any basement drains and incorporate that into our storm system. We also have, and I've investigated on the north side where there is an existing subsurface drain to also incorporate that. Our plan is to incorporate that into the proposed system.
Looks like a couple acre lots.
Yes, sir. Acre and a half minimum for the state designation. Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of well and septic, but if they've got large enough ones, and you've got a way for their perimeter tile to work.
Yes, sir.
You can see that the office recommends final approval. Chair will entertain discussion or a motion.
For approval, primary or final and approval for MAP 760.
I'll second it. Is there further discussion? Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? None opposed.
Move to continue DPR 536.
Thank you. I'll second that. Those in favor of the continuance, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then opposed, that will be continued September the 8th. Next is Mr. Turnbull. Do you have anything for us?
Do not.
Dave, do you want to introduce John for this?
I'd like to introduce John Ayers, the county engineer.
Real quick update, we're waiting on the contractor to get us prices to do the additional tile. So we should have gotten the specific unit items last week. So we're waiting on a price from him to do that extra work. So we talked to him, in a meeting a couple weeks ago about whether or not they wanted to use a subcontractor to do that work. I think they're gonna lean towards self-performing and not using somebody else.
And Dave and I talked, and Michael and I talked, and we will not be using wheel machine in here because it's impractical. And for clarity, this probably should have been part of the original design, but it wasn't. It needs to be done now while they're working in there, and it is designed for future development up north. That's the specific reason. Are you done, John? Okay, next is.
I've got a question for John.
Bob said I was done.
Citizens Water is bringing a pipe across there.
Yes.
Where is it gonna cross the run of Reagan to get to the west side?
They're crossing at 700 North. They're gonna jack and bore under the intersection at 700 North, and they're gonna follow up. The plan is, they're gonna follow up the west side of The part, Ronald Reagan, and then when they get to Maloney, they're gonna go back across. They started talking to us several weeks ago if there was a way to open cut that while we're under construction now and put a casing in. And then run their pipe through it at a later date when they get all their easements and all the other stuff secured. I don't know if that's still the plan or not. I know they were getting some pricing on that option versus coming in and jack and boring there as well as down at 700. But that's their plan. And they've already submitted cut permits for some of the other lines in the area over approaching that pumping station for placement in the right of way.
I was just wondering, since we've been dealing with the Kate Lee and all the buried pipe and everything, and then we have this, what, 36 inch or 40 inch
It's either 24 or
pipe
36.
going across the new
Yeah.
road.
So they're crossing the Brownsburg sewer, they're crossing the Hendricks Regional Sewer, and they're crossing Gately and the Parkway and 900. Yep. Thank you. It's gonna be tricky, but we done.
Next thing we have, Emily has sealed quotes for the removal of trees on the Mini Tucker.
This is an ARPA project. First quote is from Beechwood Construction in the amount of $37,000. Second is from Taylor Cooper Excavating in the amount of $27,000. I still gotta open this one. Look at that. This one is from Moraine Excavating in the amount of $48,000.
You guys will come back to us? Yes. Okay. Next, what is this Eastern
Well,
Gray?
we approved it, it's right up here, it's part of Avon. This is the new project that they are putting together. Their town hall is gonna be over here. We approved this because it drains into our subdivision legal drain called Muirfield. So it's right in this area. We approved it. The town of they came back and they're revising it. They're reducing the number of lots, okay? But since it's an assessment, since it goes to a regulated drain, I wanted to bring it back before you so we can reapprove it for the maintenance assessments. And so you all, it's just paperwork.
Okay.
Is all it is.
All right.
But it
So-
was previously 137 lots going to 128.
That's right. They're reducing the number of lots.
Okay.
But I just want you to, want be before you, if you'll approve that, then it's in the minutes and we can move forward.
All right. Next, one that wishes to be heard, Jim Murphy.
Could you bring the site up?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up. 700. Right there it is.
Okay. So, I asked Dave and talked to him after the meeting, last drainage board meeting, about adjacent tiles coming off of this property. And
This was a project that Banning Engineering came to us last month. Mike Roberts lives right over here, so it's surrounded by county roads, Ronald Reagan, and CSX. Go ahead, Jim.
And then up there on the north west corner is a Marathon pipeline that was opened up last year. And that also exposed the tile that they broke through. That tile goes directly, we believe, into what remains of the Quinn drain on Mike Roberts' property.
These two guys know all about this.
Okay, so the sort of two questions. Originally, when this was discussed, it was like, okay, we're just going to go in here and dig this up. That would leave that tile exposed to picking up debris, bringing it underneath the tracks, and filling up what's left of the Quinn drain.
I believe it needs to be capped. I don't know.
And I think Jack has told us, I'm Mike Roberts,
You're just
7365.
gonna dig up a tile and leave the
North
end
50.
open, Jim. It will be blocked. It will not take water
Hey, Jack,
or anything else.
where is it cut now, north of 750?
Right, it doesn't go past the railroad track. It's been vacated past the railroad track.
You mean,
Vacated.
Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't you two guys meet with Jack out there?
No problem.
And he can explain it to you. I mean, they've been there for 150 years.
And Michael, because I think they
They know
had a
what's going
question
on.
and Michael might be able to answer as well.
Right.
So if you guys can meet with them.
No
Yep,
problem.
yep. Thanks, Jack.
All right, and then we'll
You guys,
come back if
yep,
need be, but
Jack will take care of you.
they're busy.
Thank you.
Introduction of business or discussion by board members. We've been here a long time.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second the motion. Is there anything else we need to do? Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, gentlemen.
Give me 5 minutes.
Yes, we'll be a delay of 5 or 10 minutes before we start.
Yeah.
We think about President Dawes, he's home recovering and want him to get back as soon as he can. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we ask that you lay your hands upon us and guide us with each decision we make and each verb we speak, each noun we say, that we are respectful to you. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. As I said, Mr. Dawes is recuperating. He did well in his surgery yesterday, and he may even be listening in.
Likely.
So be careful what you say.
Now, we're thinking of you, Denny. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from July the 28th.
Move for approval.
Second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
They're none opposed, motion carries. Approval of claims, move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. They're not opposed, motion carries. New business, bid opening for Sheriff's Office, second floor bill out. Dennis?
Morning, everybody. Coming up, go.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you haven't submitted a bid by now, it's too late.
This is the first time I'm opening bids, so be a little patient as we go through it. Bots Construction Company for a bid for $775,000. Good to go. Second bid from, is that just Michael Boyle? Yeah, second bid from Boyle Construction Management Company at $739,000. First due company came in a bid at $747,000. Okay. Right here. This one's from Cunningham Construction Group. It's for $829,630. $630. Okay. These two were the same.
There it is, we're good.
This one's from Sullivan Builders and Company, $722,000.
It's in here.
Okay. Another one from Myers Construction Management for $633,000.
There it is.
This one's from Norcom, $757,000.
That all of Dennis?
That's all of the
And you'll
bids.
review those and come back to us?
Yes, I'd like to review them and
Oh,
get back to
absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob, we normally go across the room and let people look at the bids if they want to.
Absolutely. You can go across the hall and you guys, people can look at the bids.
Okay.
If you wish.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Next item on the agenda is Roland Smith.
How are you all?
Fine, how are you?
Good. My name is Roland Smith, and I'm the Executive Director for the Institutional Health YMCA. I'm here to get approval for our annual 5K that we do every year, the Gobble Gallop, and we'll be turning 15 this year. And yeah, any questions that you may have?
Move for approval.
Second.
Move and second. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You're good.
All right, thank you very much. Hope to see you there.
Next is Greg Williams.
Roland Smith. Did I get that? No, you're right. Need mine.
Morning. I'm seeking approval for a single lane closure on County Road 350 South and Liberty Meadows for about a mile of the Back to Badge Marathon. This will be our fourth year, so it's just a small lane closure for us to allow.
Have
the
you
runners.
already addressed the sheriff about this? Sheriff? Because he's the guy that has
Right.
control of that.
What's that? I'm sorry.
John.
In the past, I've just submitted it to the council, so it's single lane closure 350 South on Sunday, September 20th. Okay.
For Back Your Badge Marathon, I assume you'd be okay with that.
Email, I missed it, so yes.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You're approved.
Thank you.
Stacy Ware.
Morning.
Morning, Stacy.
All right.
Well,
Got second quarter claims for NDOT and Indigo for approval, and then there was the pass-through agreement for our 2027 grant application that needs signed.
move for approval.
Second.
We'll move in second. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, then none
Thank you,
opposed,
guys.
motion carries.
Have a great day.
John, you're up.
This is a design and contract for bridge number 198. We negotiated a fee with Butler, Fairman and Seifert and recommend approval of their design contract for a fee of $227,545.
Move for approval.
Second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed. You're up again, John.
This is, Ryan Cannon, I think, is here from the town of Avon. This has to do with cleaning up some road transfers. It basically deals with, there's two different agreements. One's dealing with County Road 525 East between 36 and Old 36. If you recall, earlier this year, late last year, they did some improvements in there. We signed an interlocal agreement for them to make some improvements. This is transferring the jurisdiction of the road over to them, or the maintenance of the road, or responsibility for the road over to them. The other one has to do with 100 South at the Ronald Reagan Parkway, coming back west, 1,400 feet. That's not in the town. Several years ago, in 2020, I think, we had an agreement with them to do some improvements there. We paid for part of that work, I think. But same thing, they would like to take over the maintenance responsibility for the road, but you haven't annexed next to it yet. That's why we have to do it this way.
Yeah, not correct.
Right.
This is your recommendation?
Yes.
But it's a resolution, I think we're gonna need a number from
It'll be 30.
30.
What, 2026, 30?
Move for approval, for resolution 2026-30.
There's two of them.
Second.
It'll be 30
Oh,
31.
and 31.
And 31, is there further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor of the motion, say by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed? They're good.
Thank you.
Glad you sat through drainage board for that, right?
Next, any comments from the floor before we take those? I want to introduce you guys so you can make an introduction.
Good morning, John Taylor from the Hendricks County Economic Development Partnership, and I'm going home finally. We brought a new executive director in. I just want her to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her, and then we'll leave.
Yeah, I'm Jennifer Chamberlain, and I'm just honored to be the next executive director for Hendricks County Economic Development Partnership. And my background is both in the public sector and private sector. I started my career in community and economic development planning. I did that for 8 years in Portage and Fishers, so throughout Indiana. And then the last 14 years, I was working in market research in real estate, commercial real estate. The bulk of that for 13 years was at Simon Property Group. So, and then I worked at Thompson Thrift the last year in multifamily. So, common thread is just trying to attract business to locations, you know, whether it's a community or a shopping center or finding the right site for multifamily. So yeah, I'm really excited. There's so much opportunity in Hendricks County. I'm learning so much from John, and already this is day 2 for me. And he's getting me out there to meet everyone. I'm excited, and yeah, I look forward to working with you. And I think the most important thing for me coming in as executive director is really for you to know that we are here to serve you as a resource and as a partner. And my goal is to turn that into being a reliable resource and a trusted partner. So yeah, thank you for your time this morning. I look forward to getting to know you and working with you.
Glad to have you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and
Yes.
we're excited to have you.
I know I've said this to you guys before, but thank you for your continued belief in the organization and what we do on behalf of the county, and in your support. That's the only way we can continue to work.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you for your interim service.
Hey, Red.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience?
Jay Thompson, 7722 Coil Creek Trace, Pittsboro. First off, compliment. I sent an email to Ann last week to get 911 board budget, and she responded at 7:45 evening, and I thought that was pretty nice to see. Somebody put that much
Above and
time
beyond,
and dedication, yes. And then the complaint is, last Wednesday, I went to the Hendricks County Communications Advisory Board meeting, and Robin Brandgard opened the door to let me in. Greg O'Brien, who's a Deputy Director of Operations, I believe, came out of his office, and he said, "Jay Thompson, what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm here for the advisory board meeting." He goes, "You know that's private. You can't come in here." And he physically stood between me and the stairwell, prevented me access to a public meeting. I said, "No, this is an open meeting. I've been here before. Nobody's ever complained." He said, "You got a complaint, you take it up with Renee." He was being very belligerent. So I just said, "Here's a bag of green beans my wife picked at the Blanton farm," and I walked out. So I've since filed a formal complaint with the public access counselor, being denied. I don't know, maybe that gets pushed back on them because it was a town of Plainfield employee technically, but I put down you guys since it's Hendricks County Communications. There's been a disconnect since Steve Cook and Doug Burns left, and I was on good terms with those guys. And I even knew Greg, I sat down there a few times, did sit-alongs to listen to what the dispatchers go through, so I knew him from then, so.
And Denny represents us there, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's listening and, maybe he'll get it straightened out for you.
Yeah, I hope so, because like I got an email, voicemail pending with Jared Tenney. I'm trying to find out, we don't have a radio in the EOC to talk to the highway department. We're trying to find out if dispatch does, because if nobody does, we'd like to put one in downstairs in case there's, just, they changed to a proprietary system a couple years ago and nobody updated the EOC radio. So-
Okay.
So,
Thanks, Jay.
This was their board meeting, correct? This was the Communications Board's meeting.
Advisory.
Advisory
board
board,
meeting,
yeah.
is my
But
understanding.
it was their board, not, well, did you name the commissioners in this complaint?
it's called the Hendricks County Communications.
It's not the commissioners. Okay.
That's the Hendricks County Advisory Board? Is
It's a
that?
board, just like Hendricks County Planning Department.
Okay.
It's not the commissioners.
Okay, well, when the PAC, do I need to revise my complaint?
But I think he was just making us aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, they're two separate entities.
Understand, we don't have any oversight to that board.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't take it as Jay's complaining to us. He's just registering,
Yeah,
just
just
informing us
education.
that there was an issue there.
Yeah, and it turns out they
That's the way I
didn't even
took it.
meet a quorum, because they didn't have people. So,
Okay, I just want to be clear, like, to answer my question, you named the commissioners on this complaint.
I think I'm about to put Denny down as the person, the contact person.
We got big shoulders.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the entity straight.
Right.
Okay,
This is not the county commissioners.
should
No.
I go back and just file it with the town of Plainfield then?
No, it's the board.
Board itself, it sounds
Board
like.
itself, okay, does the board have a contact email or something? So-
I have no idea.
Danny would know.
Okay.
Todd, do you know?
But, yeah, thank you for the information. It
Yeah.
sounds like
I'll
you'll
let you know. Yeah.
figure out point of contact.
Are there any other comments from the floor? Elected officials? Sheriff? Ann? No one? Nope. And without that, John, staff reports.
First two items we've already covered. Third item, I do have title sheets for County Road 1000 North for you to sign after the meeting. There's two sets of plans, one for the road, one for the bridge. That goes to a state letting in
Some
December.
of us have a special pin, right? Yeah.
Special pen right there.
So keep them there, Todd.
I'll just keep them.
We'll do it when we get back.
With the pen.
And I'll
With the
proof it
pen.
up. Yeah.
Fourth item is purchasing, question. We have an opportunity to purchase a used road patching machine with very few miles on it, very few hours on it, sorry. I kind of laid it out there for you in the memo. New price, it's being offered to us about $28,000 under the new price for a new one. We have two of these. I see a lot of use. One of them's getting tired and we were planning on replacing it next year anyway. We have the opportunity to make this purchase now. And the equipment marketing company who sells those units has offered to delay the invoicing until we can get it on next year's budget. I'm coming to you because per the new purchasing policy, this would be considered a special purchase, I think is what it's called. And I'm asking for that for two reasons. One is it is proprietary. We have another unit just like we have two units now, just like this one. We like to stay with this particular type of machine. I don't think there's anybody else that makes one quite like this. There's another brand out there, but we prefer these to keep our part standard and our.
I've seen them
standard.
both. This one is the best.
And then also it is an opportunity for substantial savings. And so for those two reasons, I felt like it should qualify as a special purchase. I would like your permission to make that purchase. Todd, is that consistent? Yes.
I'll move for approval.
Guidelines.
For the 82.5.
Yeah.
Second.
Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You got it. John, did you get my text message about the ditch there on 1000?
Yes, I did.
It needs, could use that thing right there.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Go ahead.
Fifth item is regarding recommendation for the construction engineering on County Road 1000 North. That goes to a state letting in December. We have to have a construction inspection consultant under contract by September 16th.
Typically, these proposals are reviewed by myself and 2 other members of the engineering staff, and then also Commissioner Dawes has always reviewed them for the commissioner. Since he's not here today, and I don't know that he's been through those evaluations yet, and time is kind of getting to be critical on this, I guess I'm asking if we can move forward based on the evaluations of the other three members without Denny's.
I'm agreeable to that.
I kind of need to know what they came up with, though.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
If you're willing to do that, based on our scores.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can tell you what we came up with based on our scores.
I will vote in favor of that.
Subject to?
Subject to review of who they are.
Keep in mind, and
Don't put it out here now. You can tell me later.
I can tell you now, based on our scores. So if you're okay with moving ahead without Denny's evaluation in that mix.
Now we can do that.
Okay.
You can do it off the record to me.
No, I think it's a
All
public
right,
setting.
all
You're
right.
doing it.
And keep in mind that the selection has to be made based on scores.
And we can
So
select
this
who we
is
want out of
because
these
this
three?
is a federal aid project.
No, I think we're gonna have to take what he tells us.
Yeah. This is a
All right.
federal aid
Live with it,
project.
Bob.
It has to be based on scores.
Okay.
I get my hand smacked just for even asking you guys
Or
first
even a
before I
little
send
bit
it to
harder.
NDOT.
So I think
so.
we're gonna live and die by Mr. Ayers' selection,
All right.
suggestion.
All right, what do they recommend, Sean?
Our recommendation is to award it to VS Engineering, based on the scores, the evaluations.
Okay.
Good with it, move forward.
Yeah.
We will move forward with contract negotiations, and I have to send the scoring information to NDOT first, make sure they're okay with it, and if everything's according to Wild, then we have to do it their way because they're paying 80%.
Makes sense.
Okay, we will move forward with that. Several of these other things are updates. I'm trying not to ruin your momentum. Petrie Court, I made a note on there. We've finished that work. It cost $22,804 to do the paving. We went ahead and paid for it out of MVH funds. But when the board approved doing that work on that road, you mentioned ARPA funds as a funding source. So I would like your permission to write a letter to Nancy, I guess, right? And request permission to use ARPA funds for that work.
I don't know if there's any left. I think they've all been earmarked for the.
That's what I thought.
The sewer line.
There's still balances in some projects, according to Nancy.
I have no problem with
I don't
it,
either.
subject to there being dollars, but it seems like that.
I'll write and ask the question,
By all
make the
means.
request, and if she comes back and says there's no left.
Good with it.
And I want to be on the record of thanking you, John, and Senator Clark, and Commissioner Wicker. They moved the needle on this. Thank you.
And Eric did the work, so.
All right, thank you.
Last thing I wanted to mention, item 14, we have, I think, 4 credit cards in our office, 4 cards off of our account in the office, 1 general card, and then myself and Clint, maybe just 3. When we travel, which isn't very often, but we use that card to get hotel reservations, whatever we need. Axel Baumeister, who's our GIS plating specialist, he's getting ready to go to, like, send him to Atlanta and later in the fall for some training. We've had in the past problems with the generic engineering department card. If people try to get stuff on that, sometimes that's caused problems because there's not an individual's name on that card. So I would like to get a card in his name for that purpose, pulling off of our account that we have for the department with approval, $2,500 limit.
Second, are we sticking our neck out here?
No, they're precedent.
Okay. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's approved.
All right, thank you. I'll talk to Ann later. Okay.
That it?
That's all I had, unless you had questions for me.
Thank you, John. Next, Dennis.
What do you got here?
Yeah, but mine should be pretty quick today. There's not a whole lot. You guys had a minute to review my report. If you have any questions, let me know. I do want to make a comment on number 3, the last paragraph. The Fair on the Square and the half marathon and the 5K. They reached out to me a while ago, requested to use the parking lot. I want to make sure it's okay with you guys that they have permission to use the parking lot.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
That's it?
Thanks for the update.
Yeah.
You're not running out of projects.
No.
Todd?
You've received my report. Most of it is informational only. If you have any questions about anything, I'll be happy to discuss it.
Thank you.
Doug, is Doug here?
Yep. I'll continue the trend. Mine was just for information only unless you have some questions.
That's Vic.
Doug, do we have cameras now in this building?
We do have cameras. We're
Everywhere?
expanding them, yeah. We're expanding some areas.
Okay.
They're acquiring the equipment now. We got that agreement in earlier this year and probably anticipate starting to install later in this fall, probably late September, early October.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, Doug.
Sure.
Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, last week we did the interlocal agreement with Plainfield on the zoning matter. We're to do a resolution. It's redundant, but just a resolution saying we did in fact adopt the interlocal agreement.
That'd be 2026-32.
Yes.
Move for approval as resolution 2026-32.
Second. Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Anything else, Greg?
No, thank you.
Commissioners?
I don't have anything at this time.
Acknowledging correspondence. Denny is, well, I don't know how much correspondence he went through. I haven't gone through any in the office, so I can't respond to that. If there's nothing else, Chair will entertain a motion unless somebody has something to bring up before we adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Meeting's adjourned.
what is it, sewer district. Order, if you'd
We've
please
been
join
to
me
many
in the
meetings today.
pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Determination of quorum, we've done that. We did the pledge of allegiance. Approval of the minutes from July 14th.
Move for approval.
We have a motion, and I'll second that motion for approval of our minutes from the July 14th. And Chair will entertain a motion to approve our claims.
So move.
Well, at least look at it. I'm looking at it. We have a motion for approval of the claims, and I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Memorandum of Understanding, draft MOU with the town of Liston.
Wow.
Anybody, where is our legal
He's
representation?
out in the hallway. I know she sent it to him, but I haven't seen any email correspondences. I don't know if he emailed directly back to you or not, but I know it's in his email, but.
And we had
that's all
discussed
I
this at our last meeting as a
About
natural
trying to-
progression, next step.
Yeah, because you guys had talked about approving it possibly at this meeting to be able to set up the meetings with Liston for September, the first couple weeks of September.
That's the one that Brad will be attending with Liston.
Yes.
Thanks, Bob.
No,
At
I would
7
gladly go because you're the
No.
boss.
At 7 p.m. No, isn't that their time that they want?
So I guess my comment would be to Greg, have you seen or had a chance to review this draft MOU? I'm gonna say no, because if it came to me last week, and I had other things in my mind when I was
It only came to you, I think, in your packet.
today.
Yes.
Okay, so I hadn't seen it.
So we just did it Friday
Friday.
last week. Again, this says draft. This is something that's gonna be a discussion point with them. It's modifiable, but it also kind of puts
That's the
in
ground.
writing what we see as district moving forward with this. There's nothing in my mind that's gonna be binding other than outlining what we see as acquisition transfer.
So
to
Liston hasn't seen that then either. Okay.
Has not, and we prepared this and I specifically put draft on it, working with Mike, Structure Point drafting it together. And just to have something to go to them and talk to them about it.
So is your desire for us to give you a blessing to that so that you could
So we can
also
present it.
introduce it to Liston? Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay.
Right, and then they want to have a meeting just to, I think.
But they want that in place,
Chat.
or we should have that in place prior to any other discussions.
And I guess the question comes back, does it need to be in a signature form, or is it, since it's a draft document, that Liston may have something to put into it at a later date? I guess it's.
Okay, I'm not understanding your question. You want
So
this
we
signed
lit-
today?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Do we need to have it signed to present it, or can?
If we've just accepted it.
No, you can present it to Liston.
Okay.
I mean, both parties need to take a look.
Would
at
have to have a look at it
Yeah.
before they enter into the
Yeah,
agreement,
sure.
right?
Yeah. There's no harm at all giving it to them unsigned.
Okay,
That's
you have no
fine.
issue with that
That's-
then, Greg?
No, no,
Okay.
that's fine.
Then I would say proceed, share it
Yeah.
with the other party.
That was
And,
my, that's what I wanted to make sure that we were all in agreement on.
That was your objective. All right.
Question, Mr. President?
Yeah.
Did you, one of their main discussion, what Bob Fisher told me was, they are highly rental there, so can you keep
We
their sewer
can.
bill?
We can.
Okay, that's my question. Can we keep the sewer bill down so they can afford it? That's what the question is gonna be.
We can't answer that today.
My initial thought and suggestions is that we do not adjust their rates that they've already been established.
Okay.
That would be a non-starter, wouldn't it?
Right.
Well, you know, our rates for the regular district are much lower than them.
Okay.
They're $65 a month, I believe.
Share that with them.
Yeah, so.
Or not.
But I envision, just like what we have different billing, like
exit 59 is a different billing area. You know, Liston would potentially be its own little entity and tariff or ordinance for rates. So again, discussion points with them, figuring out what and how much debt they have, how many the SRF loans and things like that. And also that MOU sits there and what are we taking on as a district for problems in their collection system? So a lot of things to go through, and I think this MOU kind of summarizes it. We're gonna collect data, come back in and sit there and say, here are what it, you know, come to this board again and come back and say, here are the risks, you know, and, you know, this is what it potentially could cost. So.
Understood. And I will participate once we can get a little further along with the MOU and then find a date.
That's good.
That leading into exit 59, I-70, 39 update. Who wants to have a discussion about that?
I'll say, we'll follow your lead.
We'll follow your lead.
No one. How much discussion do we want to have about our current situation, or should we move that to the bottom, or should we not have any discussion about that?
Which one?
I would say the litigation with Monrovia.
What's pending, I'm trying to remember.
We have not
Their
gotten a
answer is-
response, but
their
that was
answer-
due Friday, if I'm not mistaken, because there was a flurry of emails from Bart. And then one of those was, we're gonna amend.
We haven't gotten a response back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that would lead into the letter that they provided us with our affluent being a little strong, apparently. I don't know the unit of that measurement, but,
Which we do pay a surcharge for that. They bill us for monthly, and we do pay that.
so we can just acknowledge the email we received and move on.
Yeah.
All right.
For now, yeah.
Right up to Karen.
Right. Continuing with lots of planned
Sorry.
development, go ahead.
You wanna do Aqua first, or?
Oh, I skipped that, all right. I know, Karen got all excited. All right, back to Aqua.
Not too much to report unless you have any questions. I did want to add that we still active on the shut-off. We had new shut-offs in July, but we did do 100 door tags. So I did consider, that gets some motion. Usually I hang the door tag when somebody comes in, so getting some traction on the bad debt.
Generates a little better result when you.
Yes, it does.
Did I just hear you say you put 100 door hangers?
Uh-huh.
Well, all the time I've been here, that didn't even come close to that before.
Yeah, usually it's less at time, maybe, it depends on how Froggy Fran is that month. So if she's active, she may have, and we're doing some catch-up too, so it might be 25 a week, or things like
Okay.
that too.
Okay.
So, yeah, 100 is quite a bit, but we got quite a few out there. We're trying to ease them in and not hit the bad ones first, and
Yeah.
so.
Aqua Indiana as a whole is focused on recovering some of that bad debt and non-payments and figuring it out with shut-offs and notice. And it's a little bit different in every single one of our areas.
Not the same
It's not the
policies.
same policies, right, so, but we're having actually a lot of success here. So
And
that's
we can
good.
do liens here too. So.
Yeah.
Unclaimed revenue that's rightfully owed to you.
Right. And then I also just wanted to report on our rate case, which does not impact Hendricks County Regional Sewer District, but if you hear about it on the news, no impact on any of your customers or consumers, but I think we're gonna start getting more press on it as we move forward. We have our field hearing in Fort Wayne at the end of the month, so might hear stuff about us then. And then the other thing I just wanted to share, I talked about this last time, we are working on the contract extension, trying to tweak some of the requests from corporate so that you can review it after that. But I might be sending it in the next few weeks, and feel free to redline, edit, however you wish.
That's in his wheelhouse.
We can figure it out. Okay, thank
Have
you.
fun reading that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good arrangements now. I hope they don't want to make too many changes.
Gosh,
It's a
yes.
pretty good agreement.
No offense, but for Aqua, it's really good. I wouldn't think they'd want to change it.
I'm gonna take that back to to corporate.
Yeah.
You want me to quote you?
They're-
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you. All right. Sorry to steal your thunder. I'll let you have your
You're fine.
5 minutes of fame now.
Great. Yeah, staying busy, lots of development still coming through. So you can see kind of list of plan reviews there. With that, I apologize, Mila, but I do have a transfer form that needs signed, and if you need time to review it, we can do it at the next meeting. But this is when a development has finished complete construction, they've passed all the testing, and then they've submitted the as-builts for us to then close out the project. So now they're formally transferring the assets to the sewer district, which now become part of your assets. So this is a transfer form for Ronald Reagan Phase 2. And so you'll have to, yeah, so provide that for you all. So I have that one to sign.
Karen, just for clarification, you're gonna, and I don't know what that document is that we just got received today, but you're gonna need another one of those at some point in the near future? Is that's
Yes.
that's
Yes.
executed by the town of Monrovia?
We can get, yeah, I can talk through that too.
We
So-
may understand that there
Correct, yeah, so with,
could be some,
yes, as developments come in and we do our checks on just the technical, the design of it, then we release an acceptance, and with that, once they pay their fees, we send them a capacity certification. So we do have 2 developments, one being Sunbeam Building 6 in Exit 59, that needs that capacity certification signed by both us and Monrovia, and then another one called West Point, Phase 4.
what kind of timelines do you see being on for those? I just kind of wonder.
So we got the Building 6 one came in, and the other one is 0
Yeah. capacity. The other one, for West Point, they're just extending the sewer, as they build a road kind of in that development, but there's no buildings being built right now to connect to it, so it's still, because it's a public sewer, has to go to IDEM, but the form will say the flow is 0. So it's a 0 flow permit, and so we will still need a signature from both entities, so yeah, we will need to
They seem to be
coordinate
becoming more elusive to obtain.
that. Yes, correct. Other things that we're working on, there was a request from the county through Christie's office and the surveyor's office about GIS and wanting the sewer GIS to be accessible to county employees. So I will be working with your kind of IT and everyone on that, because we do host your GIS and maintain it on our server. And in the past, we've just done like a hard transfer of that data, like to Jim, and he was keeping it kind of, I think, on your servers here. But then we can get you the most updated version for viewing for the county staff.
So it's my understanding that will be available to
Employees
only, not to the public.
Correct, yeah, and yeah, obviously that's your choice, but
It's from an asset protection, it's critical infrastructure, should not be publicly shared.
And I was agreeable to that, Mila had asked me.
some utilities, some cities do publish sewer information, not water, but sewer, but it's kind of up to you. And then the only other thing, so to report in here, we did have a meeting with the town of Brownsburg, kind of at your blessing at the last meeting, so that was well received. They shared some of their master planning documents with us and kind of what they're doing. We shared what we're looking to do. So it's helped because we, just in a communication standpoint, so now they're communicating more with us, which has been nice. And with that, there have been a lot of phone calls from the neighborhood. It's called Section 19. So it's north of County Road 300 on, and the west side of like the border with Brownsburg. A lot of people calling there on septic, asking about sewer. That is an area that we've master planned to do one of these low pressure projects in. So the question's just, are we at time where we wanna advance that further? Our first step usually is like a postcard to the residents to know if there's enough interest to make this investment.
How many residents are there in that area, roughly?
It's pretty large.
It's pretty large.
Over 100.
Yeah.
And the thought process is, we may not get 50% connections, may not even get 40%
Today.
today. However, if we were to go in and put the lines in today, which is a lower,
Just the main
the
line.
main lines, not actually do the connections,
Not gonna cost as much as it will tomorrow.
it
Health
may be,
department has a sewer they can direct people to.
and start pushing people in that
Give
direction.
them a better,
Correct.
It's a better option.
So we've been getting several calls, I mean, literally 5 or 6
what
in the
is
last
that,
month.
what would that approximate cost be to individual residents?
Oh, to the residents?
Oh.
To connect? So to abandon their septic, pay for the line, pay the connection fee.
Grinder pump, connection fee, and we're 15,000-ish
Yeah. For
All
everything.
in?
All in, yeah.
for just their portion. So
Right.
as a, back to, what did we just finish up, not Shiloh, or,
Shoal Creek.
Shoal Creek, thank you.
Neighborhood.
Those customers, their portion, what the grinder pump's being purchased by the district, and those customers coming in paying, that was, we were charging only $10,000. The true cost is probably closer 15 to 16,000 external of the main lines. So I
Yeah,
think
it still seems inordinately low cost, because we've put plenty of the E1 systems in, and I pay more than that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I think there's a precedent in some of the other sewer districts. I'm gonna go to Trico, for example. They've gone in, they fronted the sewer district.
Subsidizer.
They put all the lines in, and they just said, as people came along and wanted to hook up, they hooked up. They made it available, told everybody it's available, here's what your requirements are, and went that route. It's a little bit different than what we just did. I don't know.
Where we provided more of a full service.
Full service,
Right.
and it became an issue that we had
Didn't repair the yards properly, as I recall.
we had 74.
Early in my day here.
That's correct.
74 different opinions on how to do it. So if we stayed with just the main lines, is what I would prefer that we do going
So that's
forward.
definitely an option, but yeah. So it's more just if you would like us to continue, start down that path,
But on that full service, you probably generated a better,
connection rate. Yeah. Yes.
We got more involvement or participation.
but you also probably leveraged, did one contractor do?
Correct.
I mean,
All of
obviously,
them.
that's gonna help drive those costs down. Should.
The main line was probably the most cost effective. The installation of it probably became a little bit more cumbersome because it wasn't all uniform. Some cost more than others.
You mean for the individual homes? Yeah.
Individual homes. What's the development on the south side that just came through Pittman's project?
Oh,
Is that moving forward yet?
is that North Fork?
The one that's west of the Walmart?
Yeah, I don't think that's come in yet.
So-
Well, I don't know, they submitted preliminary plans with those duplexes.
The
Yes.
duplexes.
Yeah.
So one of the things we have been waiting for is for the sewer line, the gravity sewer,
To get closer.
to march up closer. And there was a set
That
of
project will
plans-
bring us a manhole to 300
And
right
that-
across from this neighborhood that the low pressure would be in.
That
So
was
it
the
reduces
time.
our cost to get to a downstream connection.
And that was the tie-in, and that was identified 4 or 5 years ago when we did the concept, the PER for that. So we've gotten the sewer a lot closer already. And we've got this one little last stretch that if we can get that portion done, I think we're ready to
There.
go. It falls into what the plan is originally been. Do you want
Do you want us to start moving forward on?
Do you want us to look at a proposal and start reviewing and bring it to you?
I would say
Where
yes.
are we talking about physically?
Section, we call section 19.
County
We had calls
Road-
on this a couple years
County
ago.
Road 300 and Ronald Reagan, like west of Ronald
Oh,
Reagan.
absolutely.
At Lakeview Drive.
It's
or
all
wherever it
like
goes.
40, 50 plus
Understand
year
what
old
the
septic
financial
systems.
burden's gonna be.
Go.
I think
I
a dis-
remember, yeah.
I think a discussion about how it's financed and how, for payment, we need to have that discussion, but let's go back in and start with, this is what we need to do first.
find out what the dollars are and then have a financial discussion.
And then have financial discussion of how we do this.
How much?
We're willing to sit there and come in, but again,
You don't want to carry the entire burden, is what I hear you say.
the build it and they will come doesn't,
Your ROI is not so good.
it just,
It's a harder sell.
I get it, but it's important that we have that availability and that service.
Yeah.
Just for the betterment of
well,
our.
it goes back to what the mission of this board is.
How old are those homes and septic systems in that area?
I want to say 50, 60-year-old old, like it's
They all failed.
it's beyond time.
30 years ago.
Yeah, it's beyond
Health
time.
department does not like it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's beyond.
life expectancy for a
And
septic.
we've already released 2 people in that neighborhood to connect to Brownsburg because they were failed. They were like, we have to do something. So they've,
Geographically, that was,
on their own dime, taken it. And that was part of our discussion with Brownsburg. They were kind of like, our understanding was this was a temporary thing and they're still connected. And we're like, we know. We're working.
would those, if we ran that line, then would they willingly connect to ours and
we
would
would-
that cause a
That
problem?
was in our
to the
our
town?
letter to them.
Okay.
Yeah, once it was available, they would connect to us.
So a fruit of this meeting with Brownsburg, we've had several emails
Mhm.
back and forth.
Good communication.
Good communication
Yeah.
with Brownberg, with, I want to say
Kathy
Cindy,
Miller.
Kathy.
Who's Brownsburg used for their engineering and that? I mean, is that who you're communicating with, or you,
No, we're just right with the
Oh,
superintendent, yeah.
all the better, probably?
So Kathy and Sean.
Sean passed, yeah.
So we've had communication with them. And it was a good meeting and encouraged by the communication that we've had with them.
Since then, yeah.
Good.
Final update, the construction project that's using the ARPA funds is going really well. Construction is moving on. We got an updated schedule last week. They're planning to be done November 6th. They did send us a drawdown, kind of pay app drawdown showing kind of how they'll get to that date and everything. I can share that with you if you would like, but kind of just lets us know. But yeah, they did submit pay app 3 for payment.
Let them know we appreciate their expedited schedule, whether it was intentional or at our request, that will.
Yes, so from all intents and purposes, should meet
Yes.
the
We'll
end
meet
of
the
the year
deadline.
deadline that we're trying to hit. So just want to provide you that update.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can accept and approve the transfer of assets that she gave you. We have to have a formal record of that. It's that,
Yep, no, that's accepted and approval, monthly financials.
it's right there to your left, that sheet.
She slid this in on us.
The other project that's done.
It's to transfer the assets from the Ronald Reagan Phase 2 project.
We need a motion and a second on that to
Yes.
approve it. All right.
So moved.
Bob makes a motion that transfer of ownership sewer facilities. I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We'll sign that with the other stack. All right, financial report. Miley, you're up.
I just need for you to review that, accept and approve it. If you have any questions, we are knee-deep in the audit right now. It's been interesting. It's probably the only comment that I have, but it's going and I think it'll all end up okay. Definitely creating some new policies that we should have had that we need to get on the books. So hoping maybe for our September meeting, I'll be able to have them all done. I've updated some forms that really weren't applicable to regional sewer to make them applicable to regional sewer. So we've just been writing off of county forms.
And if I recall, there were some issues a year ago.
Correct. All right. So we should definitely be good for our 26 audit, but we're learning everything off of the 25 and getting things put into place to make sure that we're good going forward.
We appreciate that, Mila. Any questions?
No, you have made everything so efficient.
Thanks.
Spoiling us.
She has.
If you can just take a motion on the financials, because they do like to see that you've accepted and
Acknowledge.
approved the financials.
Move
That
for
is something
approval.
they like,
We have a
so.
motion for approval acknowledging the financial report. I'll second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Any wishes to be heard? Mila, do you have anything else to add?
No, just
Sure.
to do your little meeting over there when you're done. And
My exit, or not even an exit.
it's not even exit, it's just to ask those questions, or you can
They
do
were
them in
fraud
writing.
related, weren't they?
Correct, if you know of anything, yeah.
Bob, anything else to bring before this board?
No, sir.
Chair to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're done.